All right, this is for your final part. So, what kinds of things do people write online reviews about in your country?
In Vietnam, generally people often, write online reviews.
Mm,
I would say about the products that they have shopped through, different applications, maybe like Shopee or Lazada to,
mm,
order stuff to their home, right? They would definitely try on the stuff that they bought. And if it's a negative product that it had a bad effect on them, it wasn't that as good quality as they thought it was, then they would leave a review, or even if it's a positive aspect, right, they would leave positive reviews in the comments to help other people who are looking for the same product to, make their decision.
So, why do some people write online reviews?
I definitely would say that it might, you know, it helps them express their emotions about the product or the service that they have,
Mm-mm.
gotten. Maybe they went to a restaurant, for example, and they, left a review on how the food tastes and
Mm.
how the customer service was. And yeah, they usually leave those there to, express their feelings about the product or the service that they
Mm.
have got.
So, do you think that online reviews are good for both shoppers and companies, and why?
I would definitely say yeah, because in general, online reviews can help both the consumers and the companies in a lot of aspects. Actually, for the consumer side, consumers like who are trying to get that service or get that product could read previous reviews and
Mm.
base their decisions on top of that. However, and on the other hand, the company side, they can, based on the reviews that the consumers left, to try to improve their product, improve
Mm.
their service, and in order to get more great reviews after.
So let's talk about customer service. What do you think it might be like to work in a customer service job?
I am currently a student, so
Mm.
I don't really have much knowledge about this. However, I would definitely say it would be, a kind of job that helps the consumers, like
Mm.
find what they're looking for, or even, get get to, help the consumers in the usage of their product or their
Mm.
service,
Mm.
and explain some questions if they have any.
Mm.
And I feel like it would be kind of yeah, it's a really important job to society overall, and it can sometimes be stressful as well
Mm.
when dealing with maybe difficult customers. But the feeling that you get afterwards, after helping them, if you actually help them, like get more information, yeah, you would feel much better about
Mm.
that you're doing your job great,
Mhm.
and yeah, you're helping the society.
So, how important is it for companies to take all customer complaints seriously?
It is extremely important that
Mm.
companies need to take account of their actions. Maybe they need to improve their product or service based on the negative reviews that the consumers left. Maybe they are complaining about the service, and they could definitely fix that up in
Mm.
order to improve their company's overall image, and they would attract more and more customers to their shops or their restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And I would definitely say it is pivotal. However, they also need to, you also need to take into consideration which reviews are true and
Mm.
which are just false, and they're just spreading false rumors.
Mm.
So yeah, they definitely would need to take note of that.
Okay, thank you. And that's the end of our speaking test. So that was pretty impressive of you to answer the questions. Although I'm a little concerned on part two because there was still 20 seconds left during the performance. Although you were able to cover all the information needed, but with 20 seconds, you can still add on a little
I
bit more.
agree.
When you notice that you still have the time, you were a little anxious. All
Kind
right,
of,
because
yeah.
when I was observing, like you were looking at the time, and then suddenly you were like,
Oh
what
no.
else do you want to say? That's why I had to ask you
Right.
about the topic or the
Right.
question to lengthen the answer.
Mhm.
However, sadly there will be a little
I
impact to
understand.
the score.
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
so despite the fact that you were able to connect your ideas very well and so on, but I think you have to be very, very careful with the expression actually. This is your common habit of using the word actually. It's not wrong to use actually, but it becomes like a habit of using it again and again. You know that in IELTS we have to refrain from repetitions. Yeah.
Repetition.
Okay, so we just have to be careful with that. More or less, the performance was pretty all good so far. So, although this may not be the final score yet, because I still have to go through again
Right.
the evaluation. So far for now, the estimated overall band score here could be around 7.
Mhm.
If the 20 seconds was actually
understand that.
really worked on. But again, it could have been better. Okay, it could have been higher than 7. Okay,
Definitely.